All right. So I think we left off the last video. We had just finally compiled the Tox library, got a binary for the Linux triplet I'm currently on. So we can test out the Linux version of this, or we can press forward with that. I think it makes sense to test out this first binary before we start working on other platforms. And then, yeah, so I think we'll try and move to Android and Windows, and then I can test those. I don't know if I'll be able to test Mac OS and iOS. I should be able to still like generate the binaries and get, finish off the POC, but I don't know that I have enough devices to actually test all of them, and I don't know that I'm going to buy new devices just to test out this POC. But I think if I get that far, that'll be proof enough for me and for this project, right? I can take it further if need be. All right. So before we get into trying to actually integrate our binary into this, right? That's we talked about it in the first video, this foreign function interface, right? And actually kind of build that piping. A little bit of bookkeeping to do here. So first off, I do think it makes sense to store the Tox library, just since because I'm pre-building the Tox repo. Like I'm building those binaries and keeping that pre-compiled code and shipping it out with the platform. I think it makes sense that the code itself is in this repo as a. I think this is an excellent use case to try out the submodules, right? The Git submodules. So let's see if we can create one of those just to keep track of this. I'm going to use a source repo. I don't know if source, I mean lib is where all my Dart code goes. I think source kind of makes sense, or maybe third party dependency, something like that. Okay, I'm going to call it source for now. Maybe it can get renamed later. We can say, oh, we don't have to put anything in here. I think right in this folder itself is where we'll try out this submodule command. Okay, so I think it basically does the exact same thing that git clone does. I'm just copying over from what I have here, but it adds some extra, administrative or metadata, right, to kind of keep track of this recursive business. So let's try this. Not a Git repository. Oh, because I never made JustMeans a Git repository. I'm working. Okay. All right. And I don't want to get into making the JustMeans repo now. Or maybe I should do that. That probably makes sense, right? I feel like that's because I already kind of have a JustMeans repo with other stuff. Okay. Let's hold off on this bookkeeping for now. I'm just gonna I'm gonna make a directory for ctoxcore, and then eventually we'll have to clean all of that up. But I think this looks nice for now. Okay, let's work on this integration. Let me pull up the FFI documentation. Okay, foreign function interface, binding to native code. Okay, pull this over. Let's see what we're working on here. Okay. There we go. I think this is where we were the other day. This is good. Okay, Flutter interop using FFI. Okay, so to call a C function using the Dart FFI library, review did I need to add FFI as a, I mean, it's a package, right? So I assume I have to do that. That pub business of adding it to my pub specification or something like that. One moment. All right. Perfect. Okay. IO package path type def with the FFI type signature of the C function. Take a variable. Right now we only have one platform. Open the dynamic library that contains the C function. Okay, this is so I like this package FFI gen. I think this will make sense because I think there are a lot of methods that I'm going to try and bind. So add configurations to pubspec file. And then so I need to add FFI, and then I can also add FFI gen. And then what is LLVM? The local logical volume? Virtual machine? Can I get more information on this? Process intermediate representations and convert them into object files. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so the FFI gen package is relying on some compiler infrastructure for C, which makes sense, right? It's having to parse these C files and understand, extract that information and then convert it into the Dart language, right? So that makes sense. It's almost like it really is a pseudo compiler, right? Because it's still calling the original code, but it's like creating those method signatures. Okay. Configurations must be provided in pubspec.yaml, custom YAML file, run the tool, Dart, run, FFI gen. Okay. But then do I need to say entry points and then output? Okay, let's try this. Okay. Too far. Okay. It's Flutter. They said Dart, but I know this is a Flutter pub add. Add it to my pubspec file. Let's see, FFI. Boom. Okay, and now FFI gen. And I need -d. Maybe there are some other dependencies. Resolving dependencies. Okay, there were quite a few there. Look at that. YAML edit, watcher, quiver, package config, glob, file, convert. Ooh, that is a, let me see my pubspec file. Is it a crazy amount of? No, look at that. FFI gen Added as a dev dependency. Oh, that's nice. There's a difference between dependencies and dev dependencies. I appreciate that. That's kind of nice because I don't actually run this at runtime. It's just at build time, or not even build time. Just it's like an extra part of it. That's kind of cool. Okay, Flutter, and now into my pub/spec file, I need to add this business. Let's try this. Generated bindings. All right, we can try that first, and then example.h. Okay, and this is where, sorry, source C Tox core. See, I like the idea of having the source folder because then I can have the bin folder, but maybe this should all be inside third party because this is not my. Let me let's take that route. Okay, if it's too much, it's too much. I feel like I'm already creating too large of a hierarchy for the POC, but it's good to be organized. Okay, move. Okay, so now we have third party. Oh, I pulled. This is kind of funny. Okay. Okay, now we have third party source CTOX score, and then we'll have a bin CTOX score, and then it can have platform specific business. And Android, build, iOS. Maybe I'm supposed to be putting the platform specific stuff in here, but I don't think so. This seems like stuff specific to the creation of the application. I will hold off on that. Okay. Let's make lib. Nope. Bin. And then we can create a new folder in here called C Tox score. I don't know that there'll be another one, but that's all right. And then even inside that, we want links. Okay. Boom. There we go. Actually, I don't think I need to separate like that because it's not like one platform is going to have multiple of these files. At least I don't think they will. So I think I just want one too far. Let's delete. All right. Inside bin tox score. This is where we need to grab our file that we created yesterday. Oh man, who knows where I compiled that to? Must be in like user bin or user bin share or something like that, right? Let's navigate. I don't know that I want to navigate the file system. Here, let's see. Okay, user bin. This have tox score. Oh, it'd be nice if there was like a recent. No recent files. All right, there you go. Let's look for tox. No, search everywhere. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so not in user share. Oh man, I do not remember where I. Oh my gosh, the build files, because I built it in the CTOX core folder. Ay. All right, let's check there. Let's see if we can get there. I think in home, in projects, tox core. Look at this underscore build. Does it drop it here? No. Did it put it in this build? Make file. Okay. See make tests. Look at that. Lib tox score so. It's a link to where the actual file is. Where is the actual file? So have that as a property. Link target so2. It's this one, right? Lib tox score so 221 0. And this is not a link. This is just a full. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So can I put lib tox score so in there? let me copy. And let's drop this into the third party. And if you all will excuse me, I'll use the GUI for this. There we go. Let's drop that in. Oh my gosh. I did not like that. Let's delete. Who's trash? Okay, whoa. Let's just grab the real one. There we go, and then we can just rename this. I didn't specify an output. Boom. There we go. All right. So now we have our libtox chorus. So, wait, but they were looking for a header file because I need the full. I need the library. All right, we gotta handle this Git repo business. I can't avoid it any longer. Let me go on GitHub, see if we can sort this business out. Let's see. Here I can. Okay, a little bit of video magic here to get the Git repo done correctly, but now I think we are correctly inside the Git repo I had planned for this. I have to work on the releasing and tag stuff later, but now we can figure out the submodule business that we were going to do earlier, and I think that was inside third-party source. Right, LS, and then we can remove Tox core, and then add our submodule. Oh no, it's submodule add. There it is. Okay, so now we have the source, which has ctox core in it, and then we have these binaries, the one we calculated yesterday, or compiled yesterday. This is good, and now we're going to try the FFI gen business. And we needed to define an entry point in our pubspec.yaml. Let me add this in here. Okay, FFI gen, we can use generated bindings, Dart. And then example is the entry points. Now they want a header file. Let's see if we can find this tox core. Maybe it's just called tox.h. There we go. And does this have every API that we're going to be calling here? I think it does. Look at that. Version, compatible, key, file, length, message type to string, kill, error, bootstrap. Yeah, look at all these. Okay, this is exactly why we need the FFI gen. Okay, but tox.h seems to be the right one. Let's copy the relative path. I'm assuming that I can just drop a full path in here, or a relative path in here, and it'll work. Try this out. Okay. And it'll drop it in generating bindings.tar. Let's try tox core bindings. Tox core bindings. I'm going to just tox bindings.tar. All right, let's see if this works. It is, I needed to install LLVM too. Okay, let's bring this up. Sudo apt-get install libclaim dev. All right, you can, maybe that's not too complicated. Let's just put this here. wonder if this will mess with my compilers that I'm adding. This, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's normally pronounced Clang or Clang, but that I'm adding these other compiler components after already using GCC for everything. Like, I don't know if that's the, like the next time I hit a CMake file, I don't know what my dependencies are going to be. That's all right. Okay, and then there we go. Okay. And then configurations. Configurations can be provided in two ways. In the project's pubspec.yaml file, under FFI gen, via custom YAML file, then specify this file while running. Via custom YAML file, then specify this while running dart FFI gen, and then specify which YAML file. Okay, so I think I already put it in the pubspec YAML. It was quite easy. Okay, output. Bindings, a path to the LLVM. So it might be able to find it on its own. See, it's going to check default locations first. That's probably where I'm at. Headers, entry points. Oh, you can put every .h underneath a particular folder. I think that's all right. I think I only need those publicly available ones in Tox. Name of a generated class, SQLite. Whoa. Description, compiler options. Compiler options. All right, let's try running the tool. I think we've provided everything we need. You can try it out here. Ooh, probably want to run it up in the main folder. Let's see. Was that a failure? It's in red. Yeah, okay. The integer type used for enums is implementationified. FFIGen tries to mimic the integer sizes chosen by the most common compilers for the various OS. Remove enums from your API surface to rely on the unsafe mimicking. You can silence this warning. Oh, so it's just a warning. Oh, but these are all the enums that were... Oh my gosh. So many different types of enums were used. That was unsafe. Oh, God. Okay. A lot of outputs. Okay. Okay, let's see what happened. Tox bindings came out. Where did it show up? Did it come in the lib? No. Did you put it in this folder directly? No. Where's Tox bindings.dart? Show up in the build? No. Where in the world is this output? Okay, input header was correct. JustMeans Tox bindings.dart. It should be right here, but it's not. Oh, completely blind. All right, here we go. All right, there we are. Import Dart FFI as FFI, native library. Here we go. And this is all the business that they were talking about, right? These native library conversions. Okay. Log level to string, proxy type to string, save, data type to string. Okay. Interesting. Now it says native library. Is it always auto-generated as native library, or can I provide a better name? Is that what the name is that they asked if I wanted to provide? Oh, we can look into that. Group message, error, group, set password, set peer limit, role. Constants. Kick peer. This is interesting. Okay. Let's try calling one of these methods, right? I mean, that's what I think we're trying to do here. Let's see. What would be a good method to test calling? Set proxy type, proxy port, hole punching enabled, save data, log callback. Is there something like, well, actually, it might be harder to look through here than it would be to just look through the actual, the actual header file. Okay, and there should be a. Oh, what about like getting the version? The version of Tox that I'm using, 221, right? That might actually be a nice test function. Let's see, there's Tox version minor, Tox version major. There's just a generic Tox version. No, absolutely not. Okay. Can we call major or minor then? Yeah, like user status, setting the user status and then changing it. Tox kill. So these methods should all be available to some degree or another. Okay. Friend delete. Let's see. There's probably some sort of setup that needs to be done before we can call, like, you know, friends and names and all this business. Okay. Oh, I have an idea. Let's look at a simple Tox client and see what the first method they call is, and I can use that as a test method. Oh, right here, actually. This is perfect. This is just in the... Okay, so the first thing the first thing that they do here, Tox error new, Tox get Tox new null at error new. Error new is not equal to Tox error new okay. Tox new failed with error code, standard error. Okay, so let's see if I can write this in Dart. All Tox API functions work with error parameters. They are enums. Okay, well, we can see if that enum conversion works too, that unsafe enum conversion. Okay, this is nice. Let's see if we can rewrite this in Dart and find a way to... Okay, Tox new is the method that they're calling. Let's see first if that is in here. Yes, okay, so here's Tox new that takes a Tox options and a Tox error new. We're gonna have to create those as well. Now let's look at the Tox bindings. Do these import anything that's like confusing? No. Perfect. And here's Tox new. Look at that. As function, Tox options, and an unsigned integer. Okay, ffi.unsignedInt. A 32-bit integer, unsigned int. Alright, I think this is good. Okay, one thing I would like to do is, can I put this in lib? Lib/Tox bindings. Let's do that. And run this one more time. Don't want to risk a copy-paste job, just want it to work. And there we go, Tox bindings. Alright, and then this we can just move to trash. Alright, here we go. Now we're in main. And then how do I import Tox bindings? See, now we have to learn a little bit of Flutter. Do I have to import that? Would be my guess, right? Import. Tox bindings.dart. That's very straightforward. Did that work? Unused import. Well, look at that. Okay. We'll see if that works. Main calls run app, my app, which is just a constant. What is run app? Is a method from material.dart, or is this defined somewhere down here? I don't know what this does. Maybe I should try and run this first. Whatever this is. Can I do Flutter run? What does this do? Whoa. CMaker, the current CMake cache.txt directory is different than the directory binary is being created in the wrong place. Yeah, oh, because okay, when I did the Git repo creation, we changed the case of some of the letters in our parent folder. And okay, so let's go into, let's see if in Linux, there's this CMake lists. And does this say which, oh, it should say here, sorry. Build Linux x64. Oh, can I delete this build? I think this is what it is. Or maybe this is what it's in. Was this one? See, I don't think this existed when I pulled it out the first time. And then in Android, is there any of this? I don't know, because the build would have had something platform specific there. Right? Yeah, this is unclear. CMake home directory, internal. I wonder if that's the issue. I wanted to regenerate all this. Can I just delete Linux? I feel like everything in the build directory should be regeneratable. Let's try it. I mean, obviously everything is still, unless, does git ignore cover this? They auto-generated git ignore. It ignores build. So of course if you, there you go. You know, if you were to grab it randomly, you wouldn't get it. So let's delete everything in this folder. I won't delete the build folder itself. Move to trash. There we go. Let's try one more time. Ooh, that did not work well. Compiler not set. Oh, ran into this the other day. Right, where the compiler was not set. How does that happen? Need a different build tool. Alright, let's try and debug these issues. And it's saying I don't have G++ installed, and I need that. I only have C. We can try. I thought I did have it installed, though. Yeah, I did. Already have the newest version. That's not our problem. Oh, install build essential. That's what I had to do yesterday in order to get this to work. See, this is my curiosity about the adding ceiling, if that threw something into the mix. Tricky. Okay, let's see if redoing what I just did has any effect. No. Okay. Okay, but these files did get regenerated, which is nice, right? We see and we got the correct file path. Okay, so I was okay to delete this. I don't think it's related to my deletions. CMake cache. If I go into not the build folder, but the actual Linux CMake lists. So I'm wondering if maybe the CMake lists is not. Okay, let's try and resolve the first one first, and then we'll move back to the second one. I went to that one first because we saw it yesterday, but this may be more related. Let's to select a different build tool. All right. Let's see. Oh, maybe I don't have Ninja. Ninja via package manager. Chocolatey. Okay, that's for Windows. Sudo apt-get install Ninja build. Okay, so this may be an issue. I think Ninja is a requirement for Flutter, and I did not grab that before. Okay, downloaded. Or installed, I should say. Let's delete. Let's grab a new here. New terminal. Okay, new issue. Okay, so CXXX compiler still not set, but could not find compiler. See, it is using CLang. Okay, this is what I expected, or what I suspected. I wonder if I should, okay, so obviously there must be some way to choose which of these tools I'm using, right? Whether I'm using CLang or GCC. And I was relying on the defaults automatically being set when I installed them last time. So this is a bit confusing, but it may just be this one attribute that I need to set, right? This CXX compiler. Could not find compiler set in environment. CLang++. Okay, let me set this to GCC. Is this a environment variable? dcmake cxx compiler equals g++. Let me try this. No source or binary directory provided. Both will be assumed to be the same as the current working directory, but note that this warning will become a fatal error in future CMake releases. Not appear to contain a CMake list.txt. Oh, there you are. We need to go into Linux. Okay, identification 13.3, detecting. Done, package config. CMake error. The following required packages were not found. GTK 3.0. GTK. Isn't this a requirement for GCC, like a dependency? I would have assumed that that was already on the system. Okay, I can try and install it directly. There we go, we did have to install libgtk3 dev. Oh, it might be a situation where like there's two different packages, one if you're actually trying to compile new code, and then the one that comes pre-installed. Alrighty. Okay, once again, well, maybe I can just do it directly. There we go. Okay, now I've selected G++, so we won't run into that issue again. And now let's try Flutter run one more time. Same issue. I wonder if I have to delete this again now. Like it's, because it caches that CMake information. Oh, and it worked. There we go. Okay, libmain dart on Linux in debug mode. No Linux desktop project configured. Okay, yeah, I never did any of this. All right, let's open this up. Take a look. All right. Adding desktop support to adding desktop support for Flutter. Flutter provides support for compiling. So plugins. No enable iOS. You don't want to develop for no enable. I guess I could no enable web. This would never work on the web, right? That's all right though. Creating a new project with desktop support is no different from creating a new Flutter project for other platforms. Oh, did I have to put /d Linux? No, I think it was able to figure out it was Linux last time without this. That's probably not what it was. Okay. Release build. Ah. Okay, so for some reason it thinks I didn't establish all of these. So can I copy this? And then just wanted to be clear. Let's see, Android, iOS. Android. Docker emulators and Flutter devices. Testing and debugging. I wonder if it automatically does Android and iOS and you just have to specify extra if you want these platforms. Okay, let's see what happens if I put them all in. Let me just take a stab at it here. Windows, Linux. Looks like they're doing all lowercase, Android, iOS. Beautiful. Dependencies, all done. Let it run. Excuse me? Why did the CMake change? Oh, did it change because I... Okay. No, because of the build. Darn it. This cached build. I bet you there's a flag that will not look at any cached business. Okay, hold on. There's a bit more going on here. Let's delete this. Let's move it to trash. Let's do this. No, okay. Alright, compiler not set. CMake lists text 3. Cannot find compiler set in environment variable CXX. What am I doing? This. Do I need to just set a compiler variable? Like, an environment variable for this? Okay, I can add this to my, I can, if need be, I can add this, but I'm just curious. Do you need quotes? No. After enable language. Could not find compiler set in environment variable CXX. Somehow glang is clang is still. Oh, environment variable. You know what it is? Environment variable CXX. That's what it's saying, isn't it? Ah, darn. Okay, let me try. Let me look up what is the flag to not reuse the cache. Let's see. What are Flutter run options? Flutter command line tool. Where is it? Run. Do we get more information on these? Is there no attribute? Flutter clean. Oh, deletes the build. Look at that. Could not find compiler set in environment variable CXX. Okay. Let's look this up. Okay. The build system, often CMake, cannot locate the C++ compiler. The CXX environment variable, which should point to your C++ compiler, is either not set or points to an invalid location. Path to C++ compiler, like user bin G++. Okay. So maybe I was close, but maybe I need user bin plus. Same issue. What did I save to my bash profile last time? What was that? It was the Flutter path. Adding Flutter to the path, okay. Okay, so same issue. Path to C++ compiler. That's not what I did last time either, which makes me doubt it, but we can do it. User bin. I almost like cleaning just so that the run goes a little bit further. Okay. Install build essential. No, definitely did that yesterday. That was not our issue. Okay, so someone else was running into this with Flutter specifically. Some other guy like me couldn't figure it out. Oh, and he's getting the exact same thing, this ceiling plus plus. Okay, Flutter Dr. V and Flutter run verbose D Linux device and a complete reproducible minimal code signal. Okay, Flutter Dr. V. This is cool. Your Linux toolchain. Wow, Clang++ is required for Linux development. Look at that. They don't allow G++. Wow. Okay, so we're off the deep end here. Do I have Clang++ inside my user bin? Let's see. Let's just go to the source here. No. Okay, so maybe I didn't install Clang. That's our business. Now I have all these ridiculous environment variables. Let's just let's trash this one, get a new one. Okay, got rid of those environment variables. Oh, but I'm still gonna have to install Clang. Okay, let's do that next. Should be good. Okay. Wow. This Flutter Doctor is amazing that it was able to pull that out like nothing. Okay, let's install Clang. Install Clang. Clang. Beautiful. All right, installing off screen. What is that? What is this? Let's close and let's don't save. There we go. Here we are. Looks good. Let's create a new one here. It's clean. Oh. Whoa. Crazy. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Have newer versions incompatible with dependency constraints. Try FlutterPub outdated for more information. Wow. I gotta tell you, I'm into the extra information here. Look at that. Here's my little button. Okay, so here's the test application. We finally got the test application running. That is wonderful. Is there a hot reload situation? Maybe not. Maybe. No one really knows. That's all right. At least I don't know. Okay, let's X out. That is cool. Okay. So the very basic thing works, and then I have my Tox bindings here, and now the question is, can I call those bindings? Let's see if we can. Where are we printing? You have pushed the button this many times. Const text. What if I had another const text in between these two texts? I won't make it a const. that says, can I add the result of something from Tox bindings Dart? So how do I call this new code? Okay. This is what I was trying to write originally. Allows you to load a previously serialized instance. That's cool. Okay. The question is, can I get Tox air new? Is there, sorry, are those version ones available? Look at that, Tox major version. Can I call this just directly? I have text. What happens if you give it an integer? Is it FFI dot? Oh no, they're all right here. This is a native library. Do I have to say native library dot from lookup? No. Are you going to type int? Can't be assigned to parameter type a string. How do you convert a string to an int in Dart? How do you cast a variable? Or maybe not cast. I don't know how high level or low level that is. Dot to string. Dot to string. Is there concatenation? These aren't really the methods though, which makes me nervous, but string interpolation to build the composite string. Oh, it does not like concatenation. Okay, you know what? Let's just print this number. Okay, this is only a variable. It's not a method, but we're close. See if the variable works. Oh, it returned 0. That can't be true. It should be 2, right? Or was it 0, 221? What version of Tox are we in? Oh, they don't have versions. Maybe 0, 0, 221. Okay, wait. Let's try the minor version. Oh, did the application automatically? Oh, did I kill the application? I did. Okay, but the question is, what is that variable? Tox bindings. 2. Okay, so we are able to access the variables. This is exciting. But the question, again, is lookup as function. Tox version minor. That's what it's called. Lowercase tox version. Why is that not available to me? But these other, right, like, tox. What does tox do? That's cool. Let's go to this. Oh, the tox is what I create when I call tox new. It returns a tox object, or a tox struct. Sorry, it's written in just C, I think. Okay, maybe C++. Not really sure, come to think of it. Okay, this is wonderful, but I still haven't called a method, and I feel like that is definitely something I wanted to try. Okay, so. I think this is definitely a method, right? And it's in this class native library. Do I need an instance of native library to call it? There we go. Tox minor. Tox version minor. .2. Oh, we have to say new. That is? Is this Java-like? No. I'm waiting for. One positional argument expected by. Okay, I see. I don't need to write new. That's the name of the method here. There's a positional argument that it requires. Is that defined up at the top? It requires a dynamic library. Oh, but from lookup. Slowly getting it. Dot from lookup, and then it's a string. I'm looking up. It was called tox.h. Now, native library from lookup. I need to look up how to use that real quick. All right, let's figure out the correct way to use this from lookup method. Let's see. Flutter native library from lookup. This auto-generated business. Dynamic library open. Path to your library.so. There you are. There you are. Okay, from lookup, we need dynamic. Whoa. Dynamic library. Here we go. And then path to, which would be third party. Is this correct? Sorry, this is what I just read. Oh, dynamic library dot open. Source C tox. Oh wait. Bin. What's it called? It's like lib tox score. Let me just grab it real quick. still not there. Dynamic library is the open, and then still a bit confused because they already did this. Okay, let's see. I think I need to go back to that FFI gen business. Flutter. Here we go. Creates native library, and here's the lookup, and then here's the actual method from lookup. And then how does the other class import this or use this? Because this is all still inside native library. The example does not show how to actually interact. Okay, so maybe this was, maybe if I just go to FFI. Okay, dynamic library open. Oh, this is cool. Look at that. Add C. Oh, this is specifically for Android, but it says open source third party. That there's a way to add it to your project. Can I see what this is? This is just the Android Studio guidelines. Okay. Getting a little bit off course here, Flutter. C interop is indeed. Okay, this is what I used before. Here we go. Library path. We get the dynamic library. There it is. And then, oh, on the dynamic library, look up. Oh, wait, this is, yeah. Okay, this I understand. Ah! This is strange. You'll find it out from here. Okay. Symbols are looked up. Let's look at this Tox binding. Okay. Holds the symbol lookup function, which is a pointer to T, function T extends FFI native type string symbol name lookup. Symbols are looked up in dynamic library. Dynamic library. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Native library, dynamic library. Lookup. Native library. From the lookup, take string symbol name lookup equals lookup. able to do this? Yeah, look at that. Okay, let's see if this actually works. All right. Real opportunity here. And it's a 2. It worked. That's wild. All right. So now inside the Flutter application, we are calling our precompiled C code from the Tox core repo. That is phenomenal. This is the minor version. It's not as fun. So what if we do the patch version? Or what is it called? Patch or micro? Patch? Yeah. This should be 21. Even more proof. Look at that, 21. Okay, so this is definitely working. We can call the native code using FFI. All right. I think that's all for today. I think there are two kind of directions, right, that this POC could go. It's to the other platforms. Obviously, there are other platforms we can test, build for. It'll be mainly getting the compilation to work correctly and getting the piping to work correct. I don't think I have to update the bindings again, though. And then the other way is developing out the application a little to actually do something like send a message, or, I don't know, initialize the ability to send a message. As I said at the beginning, I don't know that I'm going to go super... I'm not going to be able to complete all the platforms from a testing perspective just because I don't have all those devices, but I could definitely build out or compile, I think, for all of them. I think there are some cross-compilation applications that should allow me to find a way to compile. Well, yeah, I don't know how much effort it will be, but I should be able to find a way to compile for every platform eventually. It's probably going to involve using whatever cross compiler I'm able to come up with for each platform to to cross-compile all the dependencies too, right? Like the libsodium and all those other ones I had to download. So that might be some extra effort. But once I get all those binaries, that's the one half. I probably won't test them all. And then the other part of the POC would be adding a little bit of more functionality here. I'm not going to go too far down that route, but I do think this version number is probably not enough for me to claim that I finish this POC, right? I mean, sending one message. I probably won't send a message on every device that I test on, or maybe I will. I don't know. But this is good. This is already some decent progress. Thank you.